Hey, sweetness. I know on this channel I normally do audio role plays where I play a character and then you, the listener, play a character and we go on adventures or we go on dates or we have a good time. But today I want to do something a little bit different. Today, Olympian patron Vodyinoi suggested that I just be myself and that I speak to you directly. No roles, no script, just you and me having a conversation about all the things that you've been going through lately. I know the past weeks and months and even years have been a lot. We've faced a lot of challenges. We've gone through a global pandemic, a lot of financial uncertainty. It's been a lot, and I want you to know that I see you. I see you working hard to push through every day and keep putting one foot in front of the other. I know some days are a lot harder than others. I know some days are overwhelming, but I do see you. I know what you're putting in to every single day that you get out of bed. And some days I know that's all you can do is get out of bed or brush your teeth or fold a basket of laundry. And I know some days when you don't have a choice and you push through and you go to work and you go to school and you do all the things you have to do, at the end of the day, you are completely exhausted. You are mentally and physically and emotionally worn out. And I see you. And I want you to know how incredibly proud I am of you. This life we live is not easy. And some days are terrible. Some days are brutal. Some nights are terrible and brutal. Sometimes you can't sleep, and the lack of sleep makes the days worse. Sometimes it feels like nobody understands what you're going through, what your specific personal struggles are. And in a way, that's true, because your situation is unique to you. Nobody else has your perspective. Nobody else has your set of experiences. Everything that you are going through is unique to you. But that said, you are not alone. Even when you feel like you are, there are people who care, even if some of us are scattered around the world. And there are people who absolutely see and acknowledge everything that you do. And I'm not trying to say that you're always a good person or you're always doing the best you possibly can. Because think about it. If every day you were doing your absolute best, then that wouldn't be your best. That would just be your normal. Best is special. Best is something we can't manage every single day. But sometimes you do. And sometimes the best you can do is normal, and sometimes the best you can do is very little. The point is, nobody's keeping score, least of all me. And you shouldn't be either. If you're doing what you can do, if you're doing what you can manage, that's good. That's a start. If you're using the resources you have at your disposal to make things better, to make things easier, to make the journey a little less painful for yourself, that's good. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Some days, a bowl of ice cream goes a long way. I'm not advocating for any illegal activities or anything like that, but I just want you to know that you don't have to be perfect every day. You don't have to be on every day. And that the things you're going through, the struggles you're fighting through, I see you and I acknowledge you, and I am just so incredibly proud of you. I hope someday you can see yourself for the strong, capable person that you are. Because I know most of the time that's difficult to do. Most of the time it's very, very hard to see yourself as somebody of value, somebody of power, somebody worthy of being seen and heard. Some days that's really, really hard. But I hope that at least some of the time you do see it and you do feel it. That the warmth of my regard reaches you. Because I do hold you in very high regard. And I appreciate you for exactly the person that you are. the things that you're into, the things that you find interesting, those are great. Those make you who you are. Every little quirk of your personality is important. All of that is your light. All of that is how you shine. And again, I know some days it feels like there's not much light left. Some days are such a struggle. But you keep fighting. Maybe you talk to somebody in your life who listens. Maybe you listen to audios like these. Maybe you have a therapist that you reach out to. Everything you're doing to cope and adjust and get through is a fight. You are fighting for yourself. You're not giving up. And so far, you have survived all of your worst days. Some of them were terrible. I know that. But you lived. You survived through all of them, and you will keep surviving. Because by God, you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the world. And hopefully you matter to yourself as well. There are people who care, even if they're not always right in front of you. And you matter so, so much. Every little bit of yourself that you put into this world has value. Every bit of yourself that you share with the rest of humanity, with the rest of society, there's worth in that. There's worth in you. And I know you're tired. God knows I know you're tired. I know you want nothing more sometimes than to just curl up in a ball under a blanket and just rest. And you know what? Sometimes that's totally okay. I want you to make time for self-care. I want you to take those little moments and rest and really live in them. Whether you're just chilling on the couch watching something, whether you're lying in your bed reading a book, whether you're doing a puzzle or playing a game or some sort of hobby, take a minute when you're in those moments and really live in that moment. Feel it, look around, see the things, touch the things, smell things, perceive everything about what you're doing. Perceive what you love about it. Just take that moment and experience the joy. Even if it's a small joy, even if it's a quiet joy that's just restful more than anything, experience it, live in it. Let that little high point carry you. Because those high points are how we survive the rest of it. We have to have those minor wins, those minor moments of joy to keep the rest of it bearable, to give us the hope to go on. And if we just rush past those moments, we don't see them, we don't feel them, we don't get the full benefit of them. So every time you get a moment like that, cherish it. Try to take a mental snapshot, keep it with you. And when you chart your life, when you look at the ups and downs, try to see the ups, even if they're small. I know a lot of times we measure our life by the downs. It feels like we're going from one catastrophe to another. Oh, this terrible thing happened, and then this terrible thing happened. But in between, there was probably some peace, some joy even. Something good happened in between. Those are the little things we have to pick up on. And I struggle with this too. I am just as guilty as anybody of occasionally viewing my life through a lens of one bad thing after another. I think it's just how we're wired. But we can try to overcome that. We can try to perceive the good and hold on to it and let it give us strength to go forward, to fight harder. It's never going to make it easy, but it might take the edge off. Just a little something to get us through. A little moment to hold on to. And if it does take the edge off, or it does make you just a little less tired as you push through the day, that's something. It's worth it. Anything that brings you joy is worth it. Because then you pass that joy on. Your enthusiasm for the things you love, your excitement for the things that you care about, that joy is palpable. And it goes out into the universe and other people can experience it. You are a light in this world, even if some days it doesn't feel that way. You are. You're a beautiful, shining light. And you're working your butt off, and I see it. So don't give up, okay? No matter what you do, Do not give up. Stay here with me and keep fighting. Keep making the world the sort of place you want to live in. Keep making your world a microcosm of joy, even just the tiniest bits. The taste of good food, the sound of good music, everything you can perceive that makes you smile. Perceive it and try to make that the part of your life that keeps you going. I'm right there with you. You are never alone. And I will always be grateful for you and grateful that you're with me. And also proud of you for how much you've overcome and how hard you've worked and how you haven't given up. You mean a lot to me, and I hope this heartfelt conversation has meant something to you. It's important to me that this message gets through to you because right now, nothing is more important to me than you. So please hang on to that. I hope it brings you some joy. I hope it brings you some comfort. And I hope that no matter how hard things have been to this point, that they become easier and they become even more joyful. Someday I want you to look back at this point in your life. If this is a dark time for you right now, I want you to look back and say, that was rough. I'm glad I'm in a better place now. And if you are right now in a better place from where you used to be, cherish that. Look back and say, wow, look how far I've come. Never forget to acknowledge how far you've come. No matter how much further you need to go, you have come so far right now. And I'm proud of you for that. Take care of yourself, sweetness. Make sure you eat, make sure you hydrate, sleep when you can. Maybe posture check yourself once in a while at your desk. And look after yourself. You matter to me so much. Hey, sweetness. Special shout out to this audio's randomly selected sweetness patron, Mike. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. You make this channel possible. If you like what you hear, be sure to hit the subscribe button below, leave a like, and check out the links in the description for my other channels, my Patreon full of great perks, and all the ways you can support me with my gratitude. Thanks for listening.